The Pokemon Company is well aware of the concern and cautiousness that fans have when approaching the newest Pokemon titles, Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee. And that's why today the CEO, Tsunekazu Ishihara, has come forward and said, we will not go wrong with the basics, so please, trust us. Gabe, do we trust him?
I know that for me, I absolutely do. I have made no secret that I'm not like the hardest core of Pokemon fans, so maybe this game does cater a little bit more towards me, although I am very excited for what's coming next year. I do trust them. We had a chance to get our hands on it at E3. We have impressions you can check on the channel now, but yes, they have my trust. Do they have yours?
I think they do, and he goes on to say, among those who have tried the game, some may feel that it has changed. However, we have been continuously changing the formula of the games since our inception, and in the end, the players have accepted those changes. In that sense, this time we are doing the same, but that is part of the long tradition of Game Freak and the Pokemon series. Now, I trust them, Gabe, but I do take a little bit of umbrage with these statements because he says we're continuously changing the formula. True, but usually those changes are to add and deepen, whereas here they are more to remove and simplify. So I get what he's saying, and I think overarching statement-wise, I do agree and trust him, and he says we will not go wrong with the basics, which is something that we've echoed from our time with the game, right? That the battles, when you do get to battle, are still there and fun, and the concept of catching Pokemon and going through this adventure and battling the gyms, like that all is still going to be there and still have that same appeal. So I fully believe that part of the statement. The changes they're making here may not be the same kind of changes they made previously, though.
Yeah, for sure. But hey, like, what does it say that the CEO of Game Freak feels the need to say this? Like, obviously, there's some fervor. There's people that are not pleased with the direction they're going in. So now the CEO has to come out and say, like, hey, guys, like, relax a little bit. Trust us. Like, to me, that's weird, isn't it?
Yeah, there has to be substantial pushback. I mean, we've seen it, but even from his standpoint and, you know, in terms of numbers or statistics or things of that sort, we've seen them, you know, right off the bat, they came out and announced, hey, Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu, also 2019. Like, that was a very conscious decision to say, hey, we're going to not only announce these titles, they could have left it at that, but we're also going to plant the seed of next year's, you know, quote, more core games. Also, in recent days, they've come forward and said that, like, hey, like, next year's games will really help forward the sales and the, you know, the player base of the Switch. So they have made a lot of calls to next year's title and to the fact, like, hey, this isn't, like, all we got. This isn't, like, trust us, don't worry. And I do think the trust us is about this game and also about the whole franchise, right? The whole Pokemon existence on Switch. I think he's kind of implying, or they have over the course of the recent interviews implied that, like, trust us, this one's still fun, and then trust us, the next one is going to be really good.
Yeah, that's a really good point that I didn't think about. They did hammer home the fact that, like, hey, these are coming now, but wait, don't worry too much. Next year is the real one. Like, that's such a strange direction to go in, right? Like, that's very seldomly done, where a franchise announces a game, and they're like, hey, this isn't the game you want, but the game you want's coming, but in the meantime, we got to sell some of these. Like,
and I think he's addressing both those points, because he's one saying, yeah, like, don't worry, but also he's saying trust us, like, you will still get value out of this. It's the same thing if, like, this obviously didn't happen, but say they announce Breath of the Wild, it's going to be this new open-ended Zelda game. Trust us, it'll be fun, but also trust us, we're going to have a dungeon dive Zelda, you know, coming soon. I think it would be similar to that of, like, hey, there still will be fun to be had here, and who knows, maybe these will become beloved titles on their own accord, also the new ones. I think the real interesting thing is, how do you guys out there feel? Do you trust them with Pokemon Let's Go Pikachu and Let's Go Eevee? What questions do you have about these games that you need answered in order for them to gain your trust? Definitely let us know in the comments down below. Do you trust them? Do you not trust them? And why? And what might you need to know? I'm definitely very curious to hear, especially what hardcore fans have to say about this. But I think it is interesting that it's being reiterated over and over again by the CEO and by the Pokemon Company.
Yeah, I mean, they're hammering it home as often as they can. So, yeah, they know that you guys are, not you guys listening, but, you know, the general Pokemon community. They understand that this isn't what everybody's gonna want, but I feel like they think it's necessary for sure. They brought in a lot of new people with Pokemon Go, and if they can convert a fraction of those people that have never touched a handheld Pokemon game and convert them over with this, and then that means that the next one, which is next year, does like that much better, then it's clearly a long play that they're going for here.
Here's the biggest trust that I have. Let's Go and the style of this the newest title is not going to replace the tried and true Pokemon formula. So you're not going to see a world where Let's Go and waggling to catch and no wild battles is something that completely usurps and replaces core Pokemon, right? I remember that Masuda said that like the Let's Go series could become maybe like a spin-off line of its own if it does very well and if people like it, but we're really, I don't think, in any... okay, look, there's no risk of this being like what Pokemon is for the next decade or something. So that, you can at least trust that. And I still think, I don't want to, they're hammering home this point. I don't want to keep hammering home our point, but I think the games are still pretty fun. And as he says, we will not go wrong with the basics, and those are there. So let us know your take in the comments down below, guys and girls. Thanks so much for watching. Hope you're having a fantastic day. Until next time, for myself and Gabe, Switch Force, out.